Hello, everybody. It's streaming time. I think everything works, but as usual, you guys gotta tell me if it's all broken and terrible and awful. Tell this guy, he can fix it. So yeah, gonna do some game development today. What did we do last time? I can't really, as usual, I can't really remember what we did last time. But we'll find out. So I'm gonna move this guy over here. Kirilo Sev, hello. It's good that you can hear me. Got this little program here. I think you guys can see that pretty well. Get this guy here. Like that. Okay, so let's start by taking a little look at what we did last week, which I cannot really remember at all. So I'm guessing, I was going to say lots of commits last week, but that turns out that was the week before. So one of the first things we did last week was I upgraded to the newest version of Haxi, which is 3.2. Hello, Black Mirth. Welcome. And that really only required this one change into my, like, a generic class that had some funky inheritance thing. Then, right, I had this little idea how it needed to write down, which is that right now, when you die, it will charge you half of your points. But I'm considering doing it so that that will happen when you respawn, which is like functionally the same, but maybe it will drive home the connection between the two a little bit more. I'm not sure about this one. It's a possibility, at least. Ivan is here, and so is Art Games. Hey, guys. So, what else did we do? Right, we started on making some kind of like start screen where players can be like safely hanging out before the game starts to kind of try out the controls a little bit, and that required separating. So before, like the force that kept the players in the center of the screen was actually the same force that, like, so they couldn't fly off into infinity in any direction, was the same little snippet of code that was doing the gravitation on the black hole, like not the strong gravitation, but like the soft gravitation that would pull you towards the black hole. So I split that out and moved that into the respective classes. So now the player class is responsible for not flying away too far, and the black hole does the attraction bit. This, I think, took some time. No, it's not that bad. I did a lot of talking last week, I think, because we were... yeah, so one other thing we did was that we did idle timeout. So if you don't touch the game at all for whatever I set the timeout to, 2 minutes, it will just reset itself, which is great if you're showing it at an event or something. So you don't have to watch it the entire time. You can leave it safely, and if everybody leaves it, it will reset itself to like the vanilla state for new players, which is always good because it's really confusing at an event coming in and picking up mid-game, especially for like a multiplayer game with variable player numbers, because like either you'd have a player too few or one player too many or something like that. So that's a good thing. And then for a large part of the stream, we talked about how to pick teams, which is still an open problem, very much so. I think I might have a little sketch of that here somewhere, like this one. So I considered having these little gates that you'd go through. That would, like, you'd start out being, your ship would be gray or something. Hey, Bevcat, welcome to the stream. You'd start out being like a gray little ship, or a white, or something like a colorless, and you could drive through these portals that they would color you. But I just like tried the game for a couple of seconds before starting the stream here to make sure everything was working. I actually had a different idea, which is a little bit more along these lines, because this was an idea I scrapped pretty early on, but I think we're going to go back to that. So this is probably the most, like this is where we're going to spend the most time this this stream. So my new idea was to hide these. Go away. That's the ships. So have like this. So instead of having a single black hole at the center, I'd have like 4 of them or something. And they wouldn't be, I don't think they should be filled. I think they should be outlined. Like that. And you can, let's put some color in them. Maybe not that specific color though, but that's actually the correct colors too. So we'll do that. Try that color. No, needs to be darker. It's a little bit annoying that it won't actually show you the preview. So I'm thinking something like this. Maybe they're too big. You can, and they're kind of like a black hole, so you can fly into them, and they have a little bit of gravity, so they'll hold you in there unless you do something. And once nobody has changed to, I don't know what to call them, to change teams in like 5 seconds, it will start counting down like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then it'll go. Which also means that when you're respawning after a game, you could put the players in their respective color pits. This doesn't solve the yes, come, lol, says hi, hello. This doesn't solve the problem of having the players try the drilling before the game starts, but it's something at least. I mean, I think this is worth trying. I now notice that the blue ship is quite a bit bigger than the yellow ship. It's interesting. I'm not quite sure what that means. And then I could make these like spin like counterclockwise. I think the asteroids are spinning clockwise, so make these spin the other way, just to make it look cool. But this is sort of a new thing. Like this is not an object that we have. So this is going to need the same like attraction thing the black holes have, like this the soft attraction, and then some other funky stuff. But I think this is worth exploring at the very least. And if I want to, I can even turn off the asteroids and put these further apart and do tons of stuff to them. But I think this is a good start at least. So we're going to add a new actor, and this is going to be a color pick hole. So this is going to have some stuff in common with a black hole. Not a ton, but the little snippet for attraction is going to be the same, even though the limits are going to be different. But really, that's probably the only thing that's going to be exactly the same, at least. So this is not going to have a body. We don't need that. It is going to need a reference to the players. It is going to need... Is it going to need anything else? Maybe not. Does the black hole have asteroids? We don't care about that. I don't care about the score. Maybe we should give it a body. And then make it like the black hole, just a sensor. I'm not sure. Like, I don't really remember why the black hole has a physics body at all. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Let's try it without one for now. I guess we're going to need an index too, so we know which color we're working with. I also recently upgraded to version, I think it's 5 now, of Flash Develop. Yeah, 5.002. Very good program. And the new version is also good, has a bunch of new stuff. It's not a massive difference, but it's nice for sure. This is important to me. Like I enjoy having, if players is first here, it needs to be first here. So index is second, so it needs to go second. It's important stuff. So we'll just shove these in here. Probably do I named him color. And then we'll give them some graphics. Let's say a radius of 50 for now. Did I not put that on? I know I have a function that gives, oh right, it's players. That's not awesome. I need to change that. But we'll do that for now. That'll work. Oh right, it's index. There's one. That's probably 4, but just in a pile. So I guess we'll do color whole x is settings. So we'll just center them. Do some nice trigonometry here. I through 4 times math pi times 2. And then however far apart we want them. So if they're 50, let's make that 80 for now. This should put them in a circle. It worked. I'm actually a little bit surprised. So the general idea would be, this looks kind of cool actually. The general idea would be that when you enter one of these, you'd sort of stay there, and if you want to switch teams, you just switch holes, really. Though I suppose this needs to go in the update function. Because they are going to be moving around. So we do that. And then it has to be index. And then like that. They're probably going to spin really fast now. Pretty fast. Do 40% of that. And I think they're also spinning the wrong way. Yeah, so slower still, like 10%. And we'll make them go in reverse. Oh wait, I can't do that. I gotta do this. This is probably gonna work. Yeah. So now, I'm gonna just steal this gravity code. Put it in here. So a lot of this is going to be very similar. The trick here is that we don't have, I suppose we can make one. we need the position of this circle in the physics world. So I think physics scale is 1/30th of the normal world. So we can do that. And then we figure out the distance to the center, and then the inner bound. So this would be the radius of this thing, which is currently, what, 50? I guess we can do this for now. It's never too early, late, whatever, to put constants in your stuff. Because it does make things a lot less confusing. It gets a little bit more talkative, but it's a fair price to pay, I think. So now we gotta do, and this needs to be radius. And this, that can just be the same, I think. We'll see what this does. It might be way too strong now. I think it will be. That's not good. And it crashed as my controller was vibrating, so my controller is still going at it. I wonder what happened. It's probably using something that's not defined. Like this guy right here. It's probably exactly what's going wrong. This is fucked. This is not good. That's what I meant to say. It's applying the force in a really funky. So spawn, crash, line 51. Told you so. So this is not going to work. It needs to be player body get world center, which is what it should be in the other place too. Okay, so I'm gonna turn off everyone except all of them except one. Yeah, so that's working. The issue is probably that it has less than radius. Oh, right. So this distance is going to be in physics space, meaning I got to do physics radius, which is going to be just I don't know if it's going to like that. No. Physics scale static public inline more, because that we can't have that be changing anyway. And now I actually have to use that as well. Strangely, you have to put that code into, or that variable into your code for it to actually make any difference. Yeah, so this has me right now, and I can stay there. It oscillates a little bit, but that's fine, I think. And I can pretty comfortably leave and come back. And as long as I'm outside, it won't affect me at all. So let's try. Whoops. What now? Huh. Try this. And yes, black mirth, I agree. It does look a little bit like a sperm. But that's good, I think. That's too dark for the background, but it is. It is something. So this color changing business is also probably going to make it a little bit confusing to remember who you are. So I'm considering doing different shapes for the ships. But it's kind of tricky too, because I don't want to imply that they work differently, because they are the same. What does this? If I go in here too, it's still fine. I can shove someone out. No. I can kind of get stuck because I added player versus player friction. But that's okay. I can always go a different direction. And I can't really shove him out, but I can go into other. So that's pretty cool. I like that. So now I suppose we need to change this up a little bit. So what I did here is I changed it from being, basically this is a style of like logic I like a lot, because it keeps the, I probably don't want to continue this loop in this case I don't want to continue this loop if the player is faded, meaning that they are dead, or actually going away, or if the player is not alive, which means they are very much going away. I don't want to deal with them because they're not like in the game anymore. Then I figure out how far away they are from the center. If they are further away from the center, I also don't want to deal with them. I don't care about them. So I also just want to bail out from the loop. And then I do some extra math to figure out how much force I want to apply to them. And now I can go player, team. I'm not entirely sure how to do this. Players. Where are the teams anyway? Can't remember how that works. So there's teams. Right. So the color pick hole is definitely going to need access to the teams as well. We're going to reorder these a little bit. Maybe like that makes more sense. And somewhere here, I am creating all of these here. So now it's index, it's players, it's teams. So now we're going to do something that this game's never done before, which is have players switch teams. It kind of, sort of has functionality for it, but not quite. So I'm going to have to read up on how I even did that from the beginning. So somewhere it is creating players right here. So it automatically assigns you a team index. Right, so this is something I want to, so right here it will, because this is temporary code I wrote a long time ago. I mean, clearly not that temporary because I wrote it a long time ago. But so I loop over all the teams I have, and I find the team for a specific index, and I will make that the selected team. So what I want to do is I want to make that into a function on the team collection. It's going to be public function get by index. So this loops over all the teams, and whenever it finds a team that has the index I'm looking for, it will return that. This obviously is not super fast. It could be faster. I could store them in like an array or something where I can just look them up immediately, but realistically this is not going to run more than a couple of times every round, so it's fine. It doesn't need to be fast. Plus we're running on a computer. We'll be fine. And really, this might actually work differently now because I might add like an unassigned team when you spawn. So the player gets assigned to a team. I'm thinking I might rework this. But probably before I do that, I should commit this. It does compile. It does run. And they attract. So that's cool. We'll just commit that. Before I get into messing too much with the so this is added color pick holes. So right now, when a player is created, it works like this. It figures out what team to put it on. It finds that team, and then it tells the player, you are this team now. So what I'm thinking is that a player can also have no team, and maybe that's the way they should spawn. And we'll make it work differently somehow. Right, yeah, we can make this work. So when a player is created, we don't set them to a team. And then, so before we could be sure that team was always set. Now we gotta check that it's not null before we do anything. I am actually checking here, right, because of the score. Get color index. So I might do some trickery here. So I can do team is null. I'll return 4, and if not, I'll return the team index. And then we just gotta add. These are all going to be renamed. Oh, I haven't. So one thing that happened when I reinstalled was that I had to lose all my settings for Flash Develop. Just to be safe, really, because it might conflict with older stuff. So I'm going to rename all of these defines. That's no biggie. And these all get to be team trail. I really like renaming function. So now I gotta add like an unassigned one, which I'm guessing can be the last one. It's probably smarter to have it be the first one, but no, let's do it that way for now. And we'll have that be like a kind of whitish color. Maybe that's too bright when I think about it. We'll try that. That's probably not going to look amazing, but it will do for now. This sort of builds on the assumption that I will always have 4 teams, which is not super good. I'm not even sure this is going to run. We'll see. So no. Right. So at some point, I decided to have different graphics assets for every ship. So there's a player 0, 1, 2, 3. So it's not actually dynamically setting the color of the ship. which has its benefits, but also some drawbacks. I think maybe we should just change that. Hey, Biotis just followed me. Thank you very much. So I can make another one of these. And we'll just make it all black. Because we're going to have, like, if we're going to do different shapes for the players, we're going to run into the issue of having the number of teams multiplied by the number of sheep shapes, funny word, number of graphics, which is, I mean, even if there's only 4 different shapes and 4 teams, that's still like 4 times 4 already, so 16 different graphics elements already, and that's going to get crazy really quickly. So this is a little bit tedious, but we can make this work. So what we're going to need to do is what? I have a tool for this, but I can't remember what it's called. Color something, color converter. And I want to do int to RGB. The integer is going to be something that I'm using down here. Get color ship. And then it's going to be RGB. Maybe. Forgot to change that. Gonna crash again. How long have I been streaming for? I've been streaming for 43 minutes and 34 seconds. 37. 40. No? Oh, there's more code, assuming a team. GUI, line 105. I can? No, I can't. Right. So this is from something assuming the team thing. So we're going to do. I think we're going to do this right now. Do I have any defines for the number of teams here already? I don't think I do. No. Here we do. Here we go. I totally did. So in the GUI, I go that has to be settings, and I'm gonna bring this over into the player stuff as well, like right here. So the ship's kind of dark, but it's not crashing. So that's an improvement. I might try, because I can't remember. I know one of the ways of doing this is a little bit wonky on OpenFL, but I can never remember which one it is, and it also changes from over time. Oh, right, and the ship will not have a team as it's starting, I suppose. That's the color I picked, so that works. So this little render function, it's a little bit redundant, really. It can just be like that. And then we can do a function here. That's a public function set team. That will do the color thing. Jonas, if you actually wondered how long I've been streaming for, like over time, I've been streaming for this particular series since like last autumn, probably. I've been going weekly. This is episode number 34 or 35 or something, so it's a couple of months of regular streaming. So what am I doing? I am doing, suppose we could do this little bit right here. So if player team, right, we can actually do this. Because this is not going to be changing over time. So if player team is not the same as team, well, I guess we'll continue on this path of code style. We go player set team to team. This is going to need to do some funky stuff as well. So it goes if this team is not, no, we're going to have to do some stuff because then the player is on a team already. So then we need to go team and probably rename this to, like that too. Prevent any confusions. Bad mute. No. What language is this? This is the language called Hexy. This is indeed an IDE called Flash Develop. Jonas, you are correct. That was me. Or half of it was me, that presentation. So now we go team, remove this. suppose that's actually the only thing we need to do. And then we set that, and we update the color. I think that might be the only thing we need to do. So this should make the players, hey, Bad Newt, thanks for following. This should make the players change color as they're entering the thing. Whoop, I'm purple, I'm yellow, I'm green. That works really well. It happens just as you're like passing the edge too, so it kind of looks like it's rubbing off on you. I'm using, Ivan C Dev is asking which Flash developed version I'm using, and I'm using 5.0, the latest one. With Haxi 3.2. I don't know if that makes a difference. But it just worked for me, I didn't even need to do anything funky. I did uninstall the older version of Flash Develop first, but then it just worked. So this is, I'm a little bit excited about this. So now I can go, haha, I have 2 yellow players. That's very cool. So now I can get rid of those. I like that. Less graphics to keep track of. So now we got a lot of changes going on. I'm just going to do all of them in one. Players can now change teams at playtime. I guess that's the major difference. I think we should just confirm that they're getting added and removed to the teams as intended. We'll just do some. Do the players not have indexes anymore? Oh well. We'll try that. I really just want to confirm that it's doing something. Right, so you're not leaving a team when you're exiting. But the teams seem to be going down to 0, so that's good. So I suppose the leaving thing is a little bit trickier, because when you leave, it gets weird, because right now it's very clear what part of the code is responsible when a player gets added to a team, because that belongs to that color pick hole that you just entered. But as you're leaving, it gets weirder, because now you're in neither of them. So I'm not entirely sure what to do about that. I suppose I could check. Yeah, that's a good way of doing it. So we check all the players. So here, I'm going to change this. So if the distance to center is longer than the physics radius, and the player team is this team, we set the player team to null. So that means the black hole that belongs to the team you are on is responsible for kicking you off the team if you leave the circle. That is also very much going to need a sound. And then I can put like a banner somewhere, like 2 players about to start, so that you can tell that doing this is not going to have you be in the game. And you can kind of try the controls, which I think is good. I actually don't want that. Discard. Players are now kicked off teams if they leave the picker circle. I think that's maybe the last thing for today. I suppose I want to turn the black hole on, turn the spawn things off, and see what happens with that on. Seems okay. So now it's a little bit weird because I'm not on a team. See what happens. All seems to be working, even though it kind of shouldn't. Hey Lumpex999, you are just in time for the end of this stream, which is a little bit sad, but also true. So that still works. That's good. I need to. What's this? Oh, right. The changes I did only seconds ago. So I'm going to push this. And I'm going to go to. Blackmirth is asking also before this ends if users are going to be able to cheat by preparing and moving astros before the game starts. I can just reset them when the game actually starts, scores and everything. So I'm probably not award scores at all, or hide them or something when you're in that little like pre-game state. So not really. Although that would be kind of fun in a way, but also mostly annoying, I think. What else is new? I don't know. Today you should be able to get the update for Rymdkapsel today if you have it on iOS or Android. That launched earlier today or yesterday, depending on time zones and stuff. That's hitting today, so you can get that. It's a free update, which is kind of cool. If you have it on the PC or the Vita, you have that stuff already. But this sort of brings the mobile versions up to date, which I'm happy about, and people seem to like it, so that's cool. And it hasn't exploded yet, as far as I know. I think it should be fine. It's always a little bit scary to release because you're hitting, especially on Android, but iOS too, because you can only test so much being one person, and you can like, I send it to people and I try my best, but there's like, compared to actually releasing, there's really nothing like that. And I guess that's all I've got for this week. I'll see you guys next week, and this stream's gonna go on YouTube. You can do like BSY6766 did, and you can follow me here on Twitch. You'll get notifications when I'm streaming. You can subscribe on YouTube if you'd rather watch it after the fact. You can find me on Twitter. You can do all those things, and it's all below here or in the sidebar, wherever that would be. And I see you guys next week. Thank you so much for hanging out.